Well, I'll tell you what I really enjoyed this last week was that Microsoft Developer Direct.
Yeah, that was nice.
I actually really liked that. Like I had like E3 butterflies watching it.
Yeah.
They showed a bunch of games. It was really well done. There's no weirdness with it being live. It's obviously kind of like a Nintendo Direct. You know, Nintendo Direct is, you know, they've locked down the whole let's pre-produce this and then just play it for everybody.
Yeah.
Thing. And what we got to finally see was Indiana freaking Jones and the Great Circle. And man, that guy sounds like Harrison Ford. I tell you what, I thought. What do you think, Ed?
I did too. And I did not, the first listen, I did not recognize the voice. I thought it was a voice actor named AJ Locascio, who does a really good Harrison Ford. And I was like, all right. And then I heard, no, that's Troy Baker. And I was like, what? No, it's not.
Is it Troy Baker?
I went back and listened, and it's so obviously Troy Baker.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
crazy.
My first thought was, I didn't know Troy had that in him. Like, that's like, even the way you can tell his mouth is shaped the same way to make those sounds.
That's right.
But there was also part of me that was like, I wish it was AJ or someone else who's not quite, just to have, I don't know. There was part of me that was like,
just to spread it out a little bit.
Spread it out a little bit. Yeah.
Well, friend of the show, Troy Baker. That's awesome.
Look at that.
And I'll have to go back and listen to it again. My ear is not nearly that in tune as yours is, Ed. I just remember thinking like, that guy sounds like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely. Like that downplayed monotone, there's no peaks and valleys to it. You know, everything's like, I know, kid. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's like just right in there.
That tremble he gets in his voice when he's excited, all of it.
Yeah. So good, man. Good job, Troy. Well, we saw a teaser 3 years ago, where they just kind of like, you know, wiped across a table and you saw the whip and the hat. And so this is our first time seeing gameplay and story and everything like that. Ed, what did you think as an Indiana Jones guy? I'm sorry, I'm not an Indiana Jones guy, but I know you are. As an Indiana Jones guy, how did you feel with watching it?
I was so excited. I can't wait to play it. I like machine games. Doesn't bother me that it's first person.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It bugs me a little bit.
It bugs me a lot bit.
Does it really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, not to the point of like I'm not interested in trying it. Not in that respect, but instantly when I saw it, I was just like, that's not right. That's not right. Yeah,
really. Even though
because it's Indy, I want to see Indy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so it's like I'd much rather be over his shoulder.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that we've had the two most famous ripoffs of Indiana Jones, if you will, Uncharted and Tomb Raider, and they're both third person. So it just it's sure, Indy, you existed in the movie realm first, but this is the gaming space, Doc, and you're coming into it. It's like it's been established your type of games are third person. So to me, it just feels odd. But that's not to say that, you know, 5 minutes in or 10 minutes in, you're not like totally forgot about that or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that they talked about pulling back into third person when you're climbing and you know, doing stuff like that. But just when I very first saw it, I was like, it's going to be in first person.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny.
There's something about that kind of game where it's not just shooting and it's not just where your hands are doing a lot of things, carrying stuff and things like that. Something about that first person bugs me. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's stupid.
I'm
bugged that it bugs me.
Yeah, right. But like a game like, you know, like Deathloop or, you know, Dishonored, did it bother you, or is it just because you want to see Indy?
I think I want to see Indy.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Yeah. And I think I had my brain set that it would be third person, kind of like what Chris is saying. Like, because Uncharted is third person, I'm like, oh yeah, Indiana Jones would definitely be third person.
That makes sense.
Where like Deathloop, I'd never heard of that game before. And so you're coming out with a brand new game and it's first person. You know what I mean?
I really, my only gripe about, and it's not even really a gripe, it's very minor. I don't like the title. Instead of
The Great Circle,
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, I wish it was like the Circle of mysteries, or the circle of, like, everything is like Raiders
The circle
of the
of
Lost Ark,
greatness.
Temple of circle of greatness, dial of destiny,
Oh,
and the Great Circle. Like, now you can do a little better than that, but
and the Last Crusade.
and you know what, the Last Crusade. There you go. That's a good point. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm stoked. I watched it and I was excited. I can't wait to be. I was convinced watching it. I was like, oh, they're saving it for last. They're going to shadow drop it like they did Hi-Fi Rush last year. It's going to be available now. And it was just 2024. I was like, oh, that means holiday. That means maybe 2025.
Yeah. That's right. What do you think about the timeline, it falling between the second and third Indiana Jones?
I love that. Yeah.
And then what I loved was it felt like Todd Howard seemed like he had the vision for it, man. It seems like he was like, I know who I want to do it. I know the timeline. I know what it should be about. And he's executive directing this thing. And that got me excited too, because I think Todd Howard's a beast.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I've seen a lot more anger at the game than I thought I would online.
What are people angry about?
I haven't
Everything,
seen anger, but
everything about
everything.
They're nitpicking and they said this phrase, so it means they're going to do this. I'm like, wait, what? No, just wait for the game to come out.
It's not the makers of the movie.
Yeah, it's just it's been weird. I'm excited. I can't wait to give it a try and check it out. And day one on
Chris,
Game
what
Pass.
about you? Oh, day one on Game Pass, baby. Chris, what about you?
I mean, I'll likely give it a shot whatever point it comes out, to be determined kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not.
But are you excited? Or are you like,
It's going to take me seeing more or playing it to get past the whole first person thing. That bummed me out, quite frankly. I mean, I'm not a super fan like Ed, but growing up with Indiana Jones, I always thought it was really cool. So I do. And again, because Tomb Raider and Uncharted, which I have so much experience for, and they've always just been like, these are our versions of Indiana Jones. So it's cool to have like, okay, well now you have the actual genuine article here in game form. So, I mean, all those aspects are definitely like intriguing to me. I just need to see more and when it comes out. And, it doesn't help. And this is just a Chris thing. I've not been a huge fan of anything Bethesda's made that has a hand on it. So I don't get all excited. Like when I see Todd Howard, I'm like, it doesn't get me excited. If anything, that's a detractor for me. But, maybe this will finally be the one where it's like, okay, finally a Bethesda made, published game or whatever will land with me kind of thing. I need to have one of those. Feel like I don't have one yet.
So it doesn't matter to you. Is Machine Games just a branch of Bethesda? Yeah,
Bethesda published the Wolfenstein games that Machine Games did and all those kinds of things. And
you really liked the Wolfenstein games, right, Ed?
I did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited. Yes, the first person thing, I was like,
right.
I was like, I want to see the hat and I want to see the outfit and I want to see him running around, but
yeah,
I'll probably get over it. And so I think, and it's hilarious knowing that's Troy. And it's funny because I played the trailer for Jenny, my wife, and been like, it was like, listen how much this guy sounds.
That's so funny. And it's so funny that I didn't recognize it was Troy either. Even while I was watching it, someone said, is that Troy Baker? And I was like, no, there's no way that's Troy Baker.
Yeah.
And then after watching it, a couple times after, I'm like, oh no, the whole time I'm going to know it. I kind of was sad. I know it's Troy Baker for some reason, just because now I'm like,
but it's not going to be, it's not going to be Harrison Ford.
Yeah. But if it was someone I hadn't heard of, I wouldn't really be thinking about who it was as much. But now now when I watch the trailer, I'm like, oh, that totally sounds like Troy Baker. I can tell that's Troy Baker. And it's
I
haven't gone back to watch it again. Cause when I did watch it, I didn't know it was after the fact that I heard it was Troy, but I will say when I saw it, I was like, that's clearly not Harrison Ford. I was like, but that sounds pretty dang close. That's good. That's pretty good. So now I'm curious. It's making me want to go back and watch it again now that I know, am I going to be picking up on, because I don't feel like I hear Troy when I play The Last of Us.
No,
I still
no,
don't
not
feel
at
like
all.
I do. So even though I know it's him, but there's other games I've played where I can pick up on it. It's like, that's Troy.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm curious now if will it land with me kind of like how you're saying, or will I still be like, nah, that still sounds pretty doggone close to Indy to me. I can get past it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so great. I love knowing that that's him. That's so funny.
I know, right? I got to give him props because, yeah, like I said, I did not know he had that in him. Good job, man.
Yeah. So great.